Hey, it's another riveting edition of Dan's Models. This is John, and I'm sitting with Dan here, and we're looking at some N-scale models. And Dan, I recognize that color.
Yeah. This is, I think, actually the last of the TSG cars that I haven't already shown people.
No way.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the end of it. I do have a few more that aren't done yet.
Okay, see, because I know there's always got to be more.
Right, right. No, I have some more TSG equipment that I'd started, and then kind of it fell by the wayside. So I'll get to those eventually. But as far as stuff that I've already finished, I think this is the last of it. This is a set of 3 Microtrains center beam cars, N scale, of course, and I painted them all in the TSG purple and used microscale decals from various sheets to do the markings. Actually, Microscale sells data sheets for center beam cars, which were very useful for these because it has all of the, markings that they put on them about, loading them evenly so they don't tip over and all that kind of stuff. So actually, there's quite a lot of stenciling on a center beam.
Yeah, considering there's hardly any space for it, right?
Yeah, all of that little writing is from Microscale sheets.
And it's all legible, too.
Yeah,
I can tell from looking at it.
I don't know how they print, but their printing is really excellent. I did change the wheels on these cars. I put metal wheels. I think one of them's got Fox Valley wheels, and the other 2 have Intermountain.
They're all metal, though, right?
They're all metal wheels, yeah. Other than that, they're pretty much stock, other than the paint job, of course.
Oh, right.
These started as undecorated cars.
Yeah, I'm looking at them, and, if I just saw a picture and didn't have them in front of me like this, I might not think these are N-scale because the detail on the ends and the detail in the cars themselves is really good.
Yeah, the Microtrains cars are generally pretty well detailed, and they did a good job with these center beams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this one closer to me, this Opera window one, and it even has tie downs along the sill there outside of it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The end details. Although, now that I'm looking at it a little closer, the ladders do look a little chunky.
Yeah, when you're super close up. But you have to consider, you're probably seeing it larger than life size right now in terms of the picture.
That's true, yeah.
When they're just on your layout, they look pretty good. One of the things that's nice about these cars is that the ladder detail on the ends is a separate piece.
Okay, that would explain why it looks that good.
Yeah, it also makes it a lot easier to do the decal work because if you notice that the end numbers are inside, and that would have been pretty hard to do if that was all together. You know what I mean? It's like putting decals on us and getting everything straight, and everything is hard enough without trying to do it, through ladders and.
Well, the decals aren't behind the ladders.
Well, no, but they're recessed enough that it kind of is, hard. And there is some other stenciling on the ends also.
Yeah. And the ones that I'm looking at are in between the brake wheel and that short ladder on the right side. That would be very difficult to get to that. I think that's a decal.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, any of the writing you see on these cars is decals because, they were undecorated, so there was nothing on them.
One thing that we have to make sure to do is to never allow graffiti on any of the TSG cars.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't tolerate that.
Yeah.
I would be out there personally covering it up if it happened.
Yeah.
We have lots of extra purple paint just for that reason.
Yeah. So these cars aren't weathered at all yet. I didn't do any of that. They also don't have a load on them.
Yeah.
They're all numbered in the 1200 series because I think I've mentioned this before with our TSG models that I did come up with a roster and series of numbers reserved for different types of equipment. So the center beam cars are all in the 1200 series.
Yeah, you did mention that before.
Yeah. So I think that helps to, give a sense of realism.
Sure.
So that's kind of how most railroads tend to do things.
I'd really like to see all this TSG railroad equipment out somehow and running on a layout or something. That would be so neat.
It'd be cool to. I've never actually put it all on a train and run it around.
Would it all hook up? I mean, all the couplers and everything.
Yeah, they all have
compatible?
Microtrains couplers. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I still have this sort of, idea that someday we'll just have a TSG train in one of these Dan's models and just have it be a big long run by, because it would be a long train.
Yeah, it would.
I just don't know where are we going to get all that? I mean, I'm sure we have the track, but where would we set that up?
I don't know.
It would have to be outside on a patio or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
The studio that we use to tape these videos is not big enough for that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I noticed that there are those little sort of black rectangles with the white writing.
Yeah, that's the lube stencils.
Oh, okay. What is that? Is that something how the railroads keep track of when the trucks are?
I think I think they started doing that in the 70s. They call it a consolidated lube stencil. And it has information about servicing the car and stuff like that on it.
Yeah. And
they've kind of changed form a little bit and gotten smaller. This is kind of the modern form. I generally my N scale equipment, I've been going for like mid 2000s kind of an era. So these cars are more modern than like my HO scale stuff is like usually early to mid 90s.
Right.
Whereas this is kind of post 2005.
Is that where the reflector stripes come in too? Or
yeah, because I think 2005 was when those were mandated.
Well, okay.
All the reflector stuff. So these are more modern equipment. So they're done to look like more modern equipment.
Yeah.
So they don't have like ACI tags on them or something like that.
Yeah. Looks really good though.
Thanks.
As usual, I mean, that's what Dan's Models is about, right? It's about showing stuff that looks good.
Yeah.
Unlike my Tyco train that made an appearance last week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out what you have again next week. We'll see you then.
See ya.